Hi guys, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. It's been a long time, a very long time, and I'm not back. So you might be back, but I'm not back. I was just taking a study break, and I thought, hey, let me check on those people that are busy with CTA, and yeah, so catch up, just to let you know where I am. I have not disappeared. I am just still busy with the PhD. And guys, it's I'm not crying. It's just that it's harder than I thought. Yo, my eyes are like shiny. But anyway, yeah, I'm busy with that. It is going. It's not yet done. It's going at the pace that it's supposed to go, I guess. That's really just it. Yeah. Um so I will let you know. Trust me guys, when it's done, you will all know. Dr. Pududu, you will all know. But in the meantime, I'm still busy, and the reason I haven't posted is really just because it was getting a bit stressful for me to post on social media, specifically with YouTube, because once I started making, initially guys, I started this channel and I was like, oh, it's about me whining about my PhD, sharing about my PhD. And then I noticed that many of you are actually busy with your degrees. And then I just felt in my heart, like, you know what, actually, there are people who actually need help. So maybe stop complaining about your PhD and actually make it a channel that might be able to help some people. And then that's why I started focusing on CTA, being a CTA lecturer and all. But then what happened was, the moment I moved to making it, study CTA with Nolo, making the channel like that, it actually became like important. When I was posting about my PhD and talking about, the struggles I face and my concerns with whatever, there wasn't anything that I was giving out that I would expect people to take advice from. It was really just me, you know, sharing my experience. There was nothing really to it. I have no authority in this thing. I'm still a student. I'm still learning. But the moment I made it a study CTA with Knowledge Channel, I actually felt the pressure myself, because I am a lecturer and, I'm giving advice. And then it just became something bigger than just sharing my experiences. Even when I try to share my experiences, I'm very cognizant that I need to be careful what I share, because I don't want to share the wrong things, because this is now what I do for a living, so to speak, teaching CJ students. So it made me a bit more anxious about what I post, because I couldn't just post anything. So my hair is a bit of a mess. So it's not a bad thing, it's not to say I want to stop doing CTA with NALA. Definitely not. I'm definitely going to keep study CTA with NALA. It's just that I realized that it's a bit more intense than I thought, and then at that time, especially like last year and the year before, things got to a stage with my PhD, where I just needed to focus and like mentally be all there. And so the channel was just the thing that I just thought, let me take a break so that I don't end up producing something that I'm not so happy about, and that I'm not comfortable sharing with students, because I take it seriously. I take the channel seriously. So that's why I haven't posted, because for me it's become so important. And that's the flip side, is that it's become so important now. I can't be flippant about it, but then it means I'm barely creating content. It's like, it's a bit silly. But I will come back, guys. I will come back and create content. I definitely will. I just need to be patient as well and say, you know what, let me focus on the PhD. That's what it is now. That's the season I'm in right now. But I do have something to share. And it's about like grace. And this is so weird that I'm sharing this, because like CTA is a year where there is no time for grace and mercy. CTA is all about hard work. But what I've realized personally with the PhD, and just like with everything I have to do in my life, right? Because I am studying full time, but like I'm still a person and a mom and a wife and everything else besides. And the PhD can really be demanding emotionally. Like it's really emotionally demanding. What I noticed, something that I've carried over from years back and choosing the field that I chose made it worse, is that I do not give myself grace. Like I actually have to practice giving myself grace. So what do I mean by that? So I never feel like it's enough. I never feel like it's good enough. I always feel like I'm falling short of something. I must always improve. It must always be better. My performance must always be better. I must study more. I must work harder. And even if I set a goal for a day, let's say I set a goal that today I'm going to achieve this, and then I achieve it, then I'm like, clearly that goal was not stretching enough. It wasn't a tough enough goal because I achieved it. So even when I achieve goals that I set for the day, because that's what I have to work on as a PhD student, I have to work on daily goals. Even when I achieve those, I just hammer myself down. I beat myself up to say, clearly it wasn't a good enough goal, and that's why I achieved it. So no way do I sit, not no way, but in most cases, I don't really sit and say, wow, I'm winning. Like I achieved the goal. So if I'm not achieving the goal, I'm beating myself up because I'm not achieving the goal. And when I am achieving the goal, I'm like, yeah, it wasn't a good enough goal. That's why you achieved it. So not good enough. So I've had that energy that I've carried with me. I think it got really bad in varsity and then articles, just going forward. And I think it's just, I don't know, in life you want to improve, but you also need to have a mental balance of like, okay, I do want to improve, and it is good to work to get better, but you kind of need to not lose sight of where you are. Like me personally right now, like I want a PhD and I'm working towards a PhD, but I'm still like boss, right? Like I'm a CA. Like let's not forget that. I have a master's degree. I've published, in research papers. I've supervised. So I'm not enough. I'm not like empty, and the pursuit of improving must not come at the cost of not appreciating where you are. So guys, as CTA students, let me tell you something. You will never get to a point where you feel like you've read enough. You'll never get to a point where you feel like you've done enough questions. It's just the workload in CTA. The nature of that workload is that it's almost impossible to feel like I've done enough. So I want you to allow yourself the grace to wake up in the morning and say, you know what, I'm not going to go get through everything. I'm not. I'm going to do what I can do, and I'm going to appreciate what I have put in, and I'm going to then build tomorrow on that and take it from there. So it's not easy. Living testimony that it is not easy to this day. I struggle with it to this day. I look in the mirror and I'm like, Nolo, breathe, calm down, do what you can for the moment, do what you can for the day, appreciate what you've been able to put in for the day, and then tomorrow is another day. It is tough. And if you think about all the pressures that you have at CTA, I can imagine you're probably looking at this video like, this girl's crazy. This is not a PhD. This is CTA. I only have 8-9 months. I don't have time to give myself grace. But I need you to remember to just give yourself grace, just a little bit of grace, because CTA is not just like a mental game where you're studying and brain. It's also about your emotional strength. You need to be together. You need to take care of your mental health, and giving yourself grace is just one of those things that help you, look after yourself, be kind to yourself. And it's something that I want you to try and do throughout the year, because you can't say, okay, I'm going to treat myself like rubbish for the whole year, and then the last week of CTA, you're going to be kind to yourself. You can't do that. So, yeah, that's my words, words of wisdom, guys. Be kind to yourself. Allow yourself a little bit of grace. I will see you when I see you, because I can't be trusted. Bye.